we're still looking at things like Karma, like Quay, like all these high priority mid laners left open and potentially just going to be ignored.
Do you think this is one series where we let jungle picks go to last? Or is there no way we're letting this pick go past first phase?
No idea, because it's even like, if I was just going to say Graves, but then Italy comes through, because, right, it's like, when you have things like Graves that are shared between these guys, things like the Italy left open, you never know with these teams if they do just send it. FPX might go for Karma Graves here. You have the Ashe Enchanted Crystal Arrow to enable the engage, and then Karma can give the speed.
I love it, though. Leyan throwing down the first gauntlet, saying, you want a jungle matchup, I will give it to you. I will get my comfort. You will be denied. Lee Sin is the lock-in with the Karma, so that 2v2 is going to be kicking on the side of FPX, literally.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense, even if the Graves, I think, would be a bit more signature for MilkyWay, right? I mean, a lot of the times you're taking Graves into AD junglers because of that passive, and really definitely having the mobility to skirt around him, so now having that Sonic Wave on the Lee Sin, trying to be set up by the Ashe. And finally, we're getting... I was so scared we were going to go to the second phase of pick ban without mid laners being picked, and it's like we're already starting to see the pool pinched in this first phase, so I think it's good that both teams ended up getting them in the end. Cryin going towards the Nico, so giving them even more lockdown to potentially set up for Leyan Spears to connect.
FPX not going to give IG into those late game win conditions here. The Smolder gone away. The Heimerdinger was the focus for IG, so taking away some of the duos with the Ashe if possible. I think this second phase is going to be interesting because, of course, we're going to give YSKM a counter pick, but it's more so the support matchup that I'm very, very curious about for FPX's side.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Again, you said earlier how many champions FPX's bot lane has played. Like,
it's insane.
FPX's bot lane have played everything. I'm not even going to try to predict what the FPX bot lane is going to bring out. Seraphine support, Orange support, Bard, Lulu, they've done it all.
It's literally 16 and 15 champions played respectively each of them.
I'm curious to see where IG go with their AD carry. We have things like the TF, you know, if you want to maybe try and also bring in the gold card, rely on that. I was going to say the Draven, you know, you always have on, when you have the Nidalee wanting to go for winning lanes, like a Draven pick can lead to an easier job looking for those invades.
Also an on special, something he's definitely more than happy to take if you leave it open to him. But I'm looking for some stability here. I'm looking for something that if Leyan gets behind, they can still have a saving grace.
I actually think that's not the way you go with Nidalee, funnily enough. Like, I think the logic makes sense, but Nidalee to me is just one of the feast or famine champions that it feels like you have to be somewhat on a similar page with, where it's like, okay, Nidalee falls behind, you do have a consistent bot laner, then you're still ultimately playing a 4v5.
That was very true. They're leaving ADC as the final pick for IG. They want to see where this Ashe is going and what the choices can be. Kalista, it's funny enough, still on the table. Be a really big pickup here for IG. The Rumble locked in.
You know, again, just because it's FPX, it might be a hover, but I always have to question, are they going to do it today? It looks like they're potentially going to send this Rumble down to support, and that is going to be Ashe Rumble bot, Renekton up top, Karma mid. So a lot of aggression on FPX's side. My God.
And that'll be the first Renekton of the split for Xioalaohu. It's the Samira, another on classic, and it comes through to set the pace in the bot lane.
I mean, we are getting a knife fight in this game.
Oh,
Ashe
yeah,
Rumble against Samira Nautilus. You have Nidalee on one side, Lee Sin on the other, are connected in the game. Like, if Mazel, if this is 10 minutes of quiet, I'm gonna feel a little bit let down.
Yeah, you know, I feel the same way. But you know, it's good to have knives when you are going into a thick jungle full of beasts and predators. And I feel like that's what we've set the stage here for today between MilkyWay and Leyan, two rising stars in the league, and Leyan himself making a resurgence, it feels like, after not being on a team in past. But it's all about MilkyWay, it's all about Leyan, it's all about who takes the first punch and who delivers that haymaker.
Yeah, and I think a lot's going to come down to how these lanes are able to perform, right? Things like the Ashe Rumble on FPX side, you'd expect to get prio. For IG, you need to be able to enable the Nidalee so she can be aggressive, so she can look for these plays. So both MilkyWay and Leyan going to be relying on their teammates so they can look for the aggression that they're known for.
Both these teams have leaned so heavily into their jungler playstyles. A lot of their wins coming off the back of incredible performances from these two guys. I have been waiting for this matchup for so long, and now we just have to hope and pray that it delivers, because our final series of the day is the best one. It's FPX and IG, both on the verge of 9 wins in the LPL spring split. You look back a year, there would be no question that these teams would not even be here, but here they are in 2024. Let's hear those Gios roar for the final series of the day.
IG fans coming out with some aggression in this matchup. Hell, just like their team. Just like their team with these picks.
It really is. Again, the knife fight kicking off, it feels like, but exactly what I would want between these two teams, especially after seeing Leyan get the first hit. As MilkyWay is going to be a little salty after that one. He's going to go start on this top side. So we'll be same side stars for both junglers, particularly of important focus.
It's also crazy that for life, Rumble is actually his second most played champion this split. Yep. Now it's 5 games. It's only 1 behind Maokai. Like, this guy's really been fine leaning into his pocket picks. This was the support that they brought it into JDG. They were able to take them down in their last series. And life really has been that other member stepping up just behind MilkyWay, in my opinion.
He really has. And again, being able to play around the flexibility from bot lane has been super important. Another shout out to champions. Xioalaohu's first Renekton of the split, I feel like is an important moment for him to step up against YSKM. They both know the K'Sante so well, but if he can get the upper hand, can make a big difference.
Yeah, and it's going to give him the opportunity to have a better showing, right? When we said he has had a rough split. But looking at the state of the game now, this is what I'm curious about for Leyan. You should get pushed in mid, you're getting pushed in top, you're going to get pushed in bot. It's not going to present a whole lot of opportunities. It's going to be easier for FPX to be able to get vision. They have the Hawk shot like we just saw to keep track of Leyan on this pick. So it seems like they have a lot of things going for them to try to make sure that Leyan can't find an impact.
I'm also just really happy that since MilkyWay isn't playing like an animal-based character, Xioalaohu's got me. As a former zookeeper, you always got to keep the animals in tow and make sure they're in the game to represent.
As a former zookeeper, what in your mind would be like the ideal animal to work with? What brings you joy in your heart?
I was a big fan of working with gray wolves. They're very intelligent. They're very fun to work with. Gorillas are scary. I'll say that right now. I don't want to ever work with gorillas. They're terrifying. And that's about it. I've never gotten to work with a cougar, though, before. But, here in California, they are common.
Care might get to work with
Care has done any research on those California cougars. As Cryin is very far down in health. But he tries to go for the flash. And the spear misses, too. Oh, if any of that hit, IG come away with first blood.
Exactly. What a tragedy. They do manage to burn his flash, but it's at the cost of Cryine's flash, too. FPX, during this time, okay, just going to set up for the bot lane scuttle.
There's the double CC that you can provide with the Samir and Nautilus combo, but that burn is burning him down. Oh, he goes for it. MilkyWay wants to play, but he finds the way out with his flash. That was so close to a big spotlight play, but now IG back on the bottom of the map with the TP redeploy from Cryin. Leyan, he misses again.
I gotta say, though, that play bot side might have been close to a highlight play for MilkyWay. It was also very close to just looking like a random, I guess not random, but almost didn't Mazel, too. That's the flip side of that coin, right? One is a superstar play, one is, hey, you just threw away your life for nothing. Nothing happens in the end, but so far in this 4 minutes, there might not be any kills. But both teams playing to the level of aggression that their comps would kind of signify. I am kind of interested to see how this game would turn out if it goes the distance, just because of the amount of champions who do spike, 1-2 items within both of these comps.
if we are in the jungle surrounded by a bunch of predators, you start hearing their teeth clacking together and a couple growls, because both these guys have been consistently looking and trying to find their first prey mark. But 5 minutes in, neither have been able to strike first blood. We'll see some vision game being played around for FPX. They will spot out Leyan, but we have objectives coming up now.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how FPX approach Grubs and Drake, right? Because like we pointed out, they're the team that has push in all 3 lanes, so they really get their pick of the litter with how they want to play this out. It seems like they're going to lean to Grubs, which with how much we've seen their bot and mid lane have push hitting those turrets, I think it's a good call in the end.
Oh, they have a big angle here. Leyan is going to hit the spear, and they are going to find first blood. Life going to actually take that on almost, but it goes to Leyan, and the cash-in is there.
I mean, you saw the damage from the Rumble, and I mean, the auto attacks too, once you are overheated. Dealing more damage than max HP there, but at the end of the day, IG find the kill, and this is what happens when you do have all winning lanes, is your jungler can only beat one part of the map at one time, right? So it does open up potential angles for Leyan to find one. Beautiful by him, now 1-0-0 on the Nidalee.
Looking back at it, though, now, I mean, that was just a saving play for the bot lane of IG, because they are down so heavily in CS because of the lane state that FPX have put themselves in. Also, FPX got all 3 telegrubbies. They can now redeploy bot side to contest for a dragon if it is the case.
Oh, I wonder if
just find kills.
recall is finished. No, Leyan's still here.
He stopped it. The spear connects, and Life's going to have to burn his flash. Didn't want to go down a second time.
You know, that play would have been, the difference would have been in timing, right? Had Leyan's recall gone off that 1 second sooner he's at base, then FPX feel comfortable looking for that play, looking for the aggression. Saving grace that Leyan's still there, and you get to find even more of an advantage, right? Because now Life, having no flash, you're on this mobile champion like Rumble. Leyan's already shown that he's willing to gank a bot constantly. So now I think Deokdam and Life gonna be under a bit more pressure. But my God, these CS leads on the side of FPX, it's not only bot, it's across the board.
It's impressive nonetheless, and it's been IG trying to look for kills, but consistency is in the name of FPX. And that's where I think it's really important to highlight the dominoes that typically fall in a game like this, where the timing of objectives are no longer synced. You're going to have a desync. FPX already have the advantage in that regard. They're going to start up the dragon now, so they have taken full advantage of the pacing of this early game, and Deokdam's going to burn his flash bot side and be okay.
Yeah, I still think just a mistake coming from him. You look at where Life was on the minimap. He was actually hovering around mid at the time, still wanting to get this wave in, but gives the angle to Wink. I think mistakes like that really can't afford to make, especially when you're already in a position where all of your lanes are just winning.
I want to give up any little advantage to IG. Take advantage of that in any way, shape, or form they can. Leyan had gotten on the board. Now looking at bot side yet again. Should be spotted out if he walks around the corner here. Actually able to dodge out of the vision there in the end.
And immediately walks into another ward. Looks like he just put down his own control ward to clear one off. And right, you just look at the state of the minimap, clearly not reading Wink to be here, maybe thinking he's covering around mid. That was...
No, Lyric! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! That is shenaniganery.
I don't know what you're talking about. Looked like a very simple, clean hook.
I just imagine the minion, like, leaning forward. Just like, I don't want to get hit by that.
The minion was bought out by IG. You heard it here first.
All right, MilkyWay is looking to buy out his bot lane as they want to find and engage here. They do have level 6 on Deokdam and on MilkyWay, and IG have taken the bait. The Predator has been in wait. He's been hungry. He's been foaming at the mouth, and he wants something, but the Predator on the other side is right there. On has the flash away too, and FPX try to go for a play. They are rebuffed by Leyan.
Yeah, not able to commit still. It's nice of them that On kind of being left on his lonesome with Link and Leyan on the other side of the play, forcing him to burn his sums. It felt like IG were going to be in prime position to punish Life and Deokdam. And Mike, both of them are staying around here.
Yeah, because they know it's all about that 3v3. Wink wants to pull the trigger. They don't have level 6 yet. Both FPX's bot lane are level 6. Leyan finds that out and flashes immediately. Almost takes down Life in one single spear. But FPX's level advantage means they win that one out.
Yeah, Source Shoes, double amp tome doing a lot for Leyan with the damage. Oh, even gonna make a play towards mid.
Ooh, they miscomboed a little bit there. Cryin tried to follow it up.
I am really just surprised at the level of aggression. Like, I knew it was gonna be aggressive, but Leyan is pretty much constantly going from lane to lane.
But there haven't been a lot of kills, and that's the coolest thing. It's literally like just a mind game of these two amazing junglers going at it and trying to pick apart this map.
Now we're going to see who gets to pick apart the grubs. You know, at the very least, Leyan's going to get one. We can see Life and MilkyWay making their way over now. Life is Equalizer, so that is going to be able to put a lot of threat on Leyan.
Immediately?
I'd probably say no, just because of Leyan being Italy is going to have a very easy time being able to get away. And looks like they're actually going to...
IG brought everybody.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they're going to go in for it, too, because they have so many members here. Equalizer's really big, but they already find Care. No, he heals up, and oh, that's a bit of a trouble for IG. They're dying. It's not going well. They've stood the heat from the Flame Spitter, but it's too hot to handle. Now Cryin going down to Xioalaohu, goes with his kill. Now Care, he's making it out. He is a karma. FPX, they just take out so much of IG's pressure.
And we see what we know about IG is that when a play is losing, IG don't bow out gracefully. IG keep running on in and keep enabling the other team to find even more of a lead. Again, it's what also allows IG to find some very decisive snowballs in games that they do find a lead, but massive swing over to FPX now. I don't even think they were 1K up the last time I checked the gold. It was around 600, now 3K. I understand IG looking for the pick here, but this Equalizer is massive on top of, I mean, both Wink and On at the start burning down. They pivot onto Wink, great target selection to make sure he goes down. The fact that MilkyWay doesn't die there is an absolute tragedy for IG. And then Xioalaohu being a bit of an annoyance on the back half of the fight is what's making it so that Leyan can't really join in and support his other teammates.
Dude, this guy is so damn good, Lyric. Like, I'm just sitting here with goosebumps watching this guy play League of Legends. It is incredible what this rookie has been able to do here for FPX, and he's continuing to do so without even picking up kills. He is facilitating for his team on the Lee Sin.
He did have some great movement in that play. Does feel like it was also partially a failing of IG, I think specifically in that one, with him not going down himself. Once he survived the initial plays, who cares about that play, Mazel? We're looking at each other again, and whenever these teams are looking at each other, I'm ready.
I am ready and waiting. Bring me the action. 10 seconds for the Dragon. IG actually pull out of in front of the Dragon Pit, maybe signifying they're willing to give this one.
I think it's a good call. I mean, Equalizer already back up. You have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow there for Deokdam. And this is where they're going to really be strong. Haunting guys and Malignants, you know, for Life and Care respectively. Both
I think that first item spike is definitely what scared IG. They're like, well, we don't have, let's look at our items. Oh, let's not.
Exactly. they just don't do enough. You have a decent amount of CC for FPX, as we're gonna get to see some.
Yo. He gets hit. Care doesn't have a lot of damage to follow it up, but he does have a decent amount. MilkyWay can follow it up. No way, Cryin. He is going to pop Blossom. He's going to pop Awesome onto MilkyWay, but it doesn't matter because he picks up the kill, and that's his first kill of the game.
Nice try by Cryin to try to live there with the Tangle Barbs into the ult, but MilkyWay says he does not care. Has the confidence to be able to get away with the W. And now, I mean, FPX, at this point in the game, is where they're really reaping the benefits of the draft they came in with. And with the dominance that they found throughout these lanes, out of nowhere, a 5K gold lead, like, really dominant showing out of one fight, right? One fight was what turned the game completely in favor of FPX.
And they've had a consistent lead bot side, which has made that a lot easier. The fact they got all 5 plates bot side as well as first turret, they just are bleeding IG out of that side of the map. And we'll take a look back at this one.
Are we just looking at the arrow? Oh, okay. I was like, okay, we're following tries. But it's going to be here. I mean, you have enough damage coming down. He's going to be able to connect with you. Again, great try by Cryin with the Tangle Barbs, then into the ult.
Kid, did you see that? Kara hit the minion. He could have literally just cleaned up the kill there, but the minion blocked him in the end. Anyways, FPX now on the back foot, but maybe looking at the front foot now. All the way in there like swimwear goes Xioalaohu. He's still healing. He wants more, but IG have come in full force. They'll take down that crocodilian. One of the predators of the jungle have fallen, and the second one goes down to On. He dies, though, in the end of Xioalaohu. Meanwhile, Deokdam is space gliding his way to victory here. The turret shots. Oh, no. Leyan needs to be careful. The flashes, the plays. Deokdam, he heard you talking trash, and he'll step right up.
And mistakes on mistakes. Chaos. Bill within chaos. What is going on? That dive was so crazy. FPX, I just can't believe they keep finding ways to get further and further ahead. Massive from Deokdam.
What a way to be, but I will give it to IG. They came in with one singular mind, and it was to punch FPX in the face. They've done so, but they've taken a lot of welts on the back end.
I mean, they go for this plan to Xioalaohu, who at this point has Eclipse and Phage already built up. He is chilling, which is how you see him able to survive for so long.
On does nothing.
No, not able to really deal any damage here. And it's like, all right, again, I can see the logic of why they want to keep going, but they should have spotted Deokdam running by on that first ward. And then low HP bars as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
This little flash, I feel like, was so clutch.
Yeah, it was the difference maker in Deokdam being able to find that kill.
And Cryin just tanking the extra shot. Luckily, he gets it back because that would have been real rough if he didn't. Now we got another fight on our hands, but it's MilkyWay driving his way into the outer tower while Wink falls. Nice four-man right there, and G might be able to pounce on that reset. Oh, Xioalaohu says, sit down, On. You have no part of this conversation. FPX now on the back foot, but they still want to lead it out of here alive.
Still, though, now you have this massive Renekton that you're left dealing with. FPX looks like they understand they're not going to be able to get much more. And looking at the state of the map, sadly, not too much you can take away. We're still waiting a minute and a half for that next Drake to come through. I'm also going to be curious about how FPX approach the Baron in this game with the kind of lead they have. They do have decent turn potential with the Ashe.
That is now second item. Horizon Focus for Care. Pretty big in its own right. Getting, I think, close to that for On. But still going to be a little bit of ways from that one. We have Dragon in sub 1 minute. Would be soul point for FPX.
And for FPX, I mean, it should just be theirs. I mean, I think when... hell, we talked about it, right? When Nidalee really does feel like that feast or famine. When you fall behind, when Samir falls behind, it just feels so impossible to find ways back into the game. You're also relying...
That was the game plan.
Yeah, you're relying on all your other members to be able to help you connect those abilities. The problem is that FPX went with as much of a full send comp. If it works, it works great. If it doesn't work, we get stomped. And sadly, it does it better than IG's does.
But I feel like it's different in a way because it's like more on the scale of craziness. And speaking of craziness, Leyan just didn't realize he was going to get engaged on from halfway across the map, and he will be turned into a pelt.
I actually feel like I might agree it's crazier just because we have Life who keeps playing to support Rumble, but it actually feels like it might be a bit easier just because you have the guaranteed 3 winning lanes. And I feel like that's one thing we always see happen in the LPL is if you end up with 3 winning lanes, you typically just win.
It's like hindsight's 2020. You look back, oh, we were winning all 3 lanes. That's what made it so easy.
The one thing most LPL teams are good at is like being able to snowball a lead. And sure, do a lot of our teams maybe kind of doze off in the mid game? Yes. But typically, they could still find a way to close it out. But we're going to see here Hawkshot spotting out Leyan, giving the opportunity, setting up for Deokdam to follow through with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Oh, and he just goes so far. He just wants to put the hurt onto Leyan.
I mean, hell, this is the last big challenge. This is another jungle who has been showing impressive performances. I think a lot of people are probably going to, knee-jerk reaction, criticize IG, criticize Leyan for the state of this game. Makes sense. But, again, Leyan is someone who has been showing some really good performances so far in his return to LPL.
We have 2 Apollos in this game right now. Leyan's flying a little bit too close to the sun while MilkyWay maybe not so much. I think both these guys have had impressive performances, but MilkyWay has been on another level. And this guy coming over from Royal Club, the LDL squad of Royal Never Give Up, a lot of people were expressing a lot of excitement for him coming in, right? He was literally trashing the LDL, and now he has made his name known. I think this year has been all about rookies making names known across the world.
It's been a pretty big contrast, right? Because it's been one or the other. It's been rookies making waves, or it's been, you know, hey, we are BLG and we're a super team, and that's that. There really hasn't been much of a middle ground in terms of like the teams. Hell, teams like AL, right? WE that have like mixed rosters with some younger players, some more veteran players. No, it's you are God Rookie or you are the BLG team, which spent a lot of money.
True. Hey, super team is a super team. They're looking to match their record from last year here still. Anyways, back to this one. It's, again, speaking of maybe some of those standings implications, not only the super teams vying for things, but FPX and IG on the cusp of 9 wins. A very monumentous occasion as time goes on. If things fall in the right direction, could lock them for playoffs. But it's a series that means a lot for them because you spoke about it earlier, right? It's like the last true test for FPX where IG feels like they're just getting started.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, at least IG even, I mean, they still play OMG, they still play JDG, they still play Weibo, they still have a lot of hard series ahead.
Dude, that was some nerves of steel right there, life.
I guess you just have to accept at that point. Either the spear hits and, you know, your fate is sealed, or you realize the fact that IG is so unlucky that there was no way the spear could hit.
Ah, yes. Wait, unlucky or lucky? No, unlucky. I wonder now, when you're getting those second items, we got the Phantom Dancer for Deokdam. He's definitely going for that attack speed build here. It gets so hard to enter these fights, but if you're going to, it's got to be off a combo between Cryin and Leyan and the rest of the team following it up.
Even then, I do not know if that would be enough to win a 5v5. Like,
you just go for picks?
Yeah, maybe it would, right? If you get the perfect Pop Blossom and it buys that space for Ron to set up, but I'm trying to imagine how you would find the perfect Pop Blossom against FPX, and I don't know if it's doable. between the Dragon's Rage, between the Shattered Crystal Arrow, like, there's so many ways of just stopping Cryin from being able to get anywhere close to the FPX members.
I want to say that Leyan has his second item. That's why he wants to go ahead and back right now, but FPX will not let them. This is a vision war that we're seeing fought in front of us, and FPX right now are leading that case.
Ooh, they get him!
Oh, let's go. They find him, they capitalize, and they take him out.
And there's the picks that we said they needed. Right, I don't think for IG the place, find a crazy team fight. Just look for the small things you can to get yourselves in a favorable position. Sadly, this pick won't lead them into Drake, since that still doesn't spawn for 40 seconds. They don't feel anywhere near comfortable enough to go for Baron.
Oh, yeah, I don't even think that's got to be in the conversation right now, but setting up for the Dragon definitely is, and getting some of this vision out in front of it is huge. The reset's coming out from MilkyWay. He's probably on his second item, but a redeploy needs to be down here if they want to contest for it.
I think FPX should be completely fine to just be able to walk back here and contest this. The life pick was nice, but it's just happening so early means, sure, IG get vision, but the prio that FPX has, it's very easy for them to walk into river whenever they want. IG might just have to give up mid-wave and force themselves into river first.
Leandry's got completed for Leyan. Now in front of the Dragon. Looks like IG don't want to let this one go. They want to fight for this soul. As FPX with a Cloud Soul would be so big. Oh, Xioalaohu. He's hungry. They're going in. That's the mantra Q. They might have actually found out. Xioalaohu, the Pop Blossom on 3. You actually don't have any follow-up, though. They do take down the Croc, and here goes On, but he's all by himself, and he gets taken out, dragged down, and a double kill to Deokdam. As Wink goes out, that is FPX turning to their soul.
The problem is, the one member that's an annoyance is left alive. I don't think there's any chance of Leyan stealing the Drake, but if he just decided to stick around and throw spears with those low HP health bars, could lead one into IG's favor. Let's see if he does.
Looks like he's going to wrap around for the tag end of it, but it won't be able to get anything here. Still going to be looking around, see if he can sneak anything. He has vision. There he is, on to Life, and Life again caught looking. Will go down to the Predator of Leyan.
Life dies, Leyan gets a consolation prize, but FPX are completely ecstatic with the state of affairs. Having so...
Dude, I love it.
What an inopportune time to go into a replay, right when someone gets hit by a spear. Xioalaohu here is a madman. He sees the angle for on. If he found it, that could have been huge, but he ends up just giving over his life for free. Luckily that, I mean, FPX have such a lead, it really doesn't make a difference in the end. They can turn on to Cryin, no problem. And then here, having the damage to get on top of On almost makes it work, but there, the Dragon's Rage kick into MilkyWay saying, all right, guys, you got this on your own. I'm going to keep chasing them down. Beautiful.
God, man, it's the little mechanics that you see from this guy that just make you such a fan. Like, he literally kicks, and as the kick is going through, he's going on to the next target. And you see FPX now with a monumental lead, Soul at their backs, and able to press IG in all the right places.
Like we said, IG are never a team. Doesn't matter how far behind they are. They won't shy away from a fight. And that very much held true in that last circumstance. Now, coming back, Deokdam 3 items the IE picked up, so he's really going to be able to start just melting the members of IG.
Ooh, a little damage. A little damage back. That is a 3rd item now for Xioalaohu, by the way. A Staircase Cage going to make it a lot easier to find On in those little moments.
So not having the confidence to do Baron, which makes sense, right? I mean, Karma, Ashe, Rumble, not the fastest Baron.
They do want to find kills, though. They might be able to. Reset did come through from Leyan. Wasn't able to find the 3rd item. Did get a needlessly large rod, though. Not too shabby. But it's all positioning around the top side of the map because there's literally nothing else to fight for. FPX Care will be spotted out.
IG can just sit back. I mean, they even have a ward right outside the pit. So they technically don't know if they are doing it or not, if they had already shown walking in. But now, IG shouldn't feel any pressure whatsoever.
Ooh, a little Tango Barb connects from Cryin, and all of a sudden, Life is out of the fight. Here comes Wink as well. He goes in a little ham. They actually catch out MilkyWay, but he immediately safeguards his way out. Now look at Xioalaohu. He wants to slice and dice his way through onto the equalizer. Oh no, IG, they pull themselves onto the burning pits, and FPX, that's their home, because they're a damn Phoenix as they burn them alive from the inside.
Huge play coming out for FPX. 4 kills. Going to be able to turn to the Baron. You can even see Care making his way up to top to take another turret on top of it, too. FPX are taking everything.
And eating their cake, too. Over 8,000 gold in the lead. Back into the replay. Wink wanted this so bad, and they thought they were ahead, didn't they?
I mean, going for the opportunity. It actually started out pretty well. It's only when IG turned back around where I think things are a little bit scuffed. It's like here, all right, the equalizer's good, but it's fine. You still have a chance to back out. Committing even further to go for the kill just gives the opportunity for the turn. I mean, Xioalaohu just fought the Stair X, is even easier time being able to get in there and finish kills off. And now we're at a point where it's a matter of when, not if anymore. When does FPX close the game?
10,000 gold up. It feels like it is inevitable now. 2 minutes, still an Elder Dragon is up on the table, so maybe that'll be the final push to end the game. But they're onto a tier 2 tower with the Baron buff here. Deokdam almost trades his life for a spear. Leyan a little bit back and on. Oh my goodness. This gets completely chunked.
Life is playing dodgeball right now with Leyan over this wall.
You dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly. And, you know, Life has been dodging the ball. Has not taken a spear within at least the last 30 seconds. I almost jinxed it, but he still dodged. Now the siege continues.
Oh, goodness. I'm almost imagining that movie with a spear now thrown in that scene. Anyways, equalizer is popped, but there will be no equalization from the side of IG. They are backs against the wall in game number 1. And FPX want to put that hurt on him one more time. Cryin, 5-man Pop Blossom, but it looks cool. It doesn't matter, because IG have fallen holistically to FPX's might and MilkyWay's might in game number 1.
The problem with this fight was FPX just have an ATM advantage. They have more money, they have more items, they have more stats, and IG just could not contend.
This was an incredible start to this series. If we get all 3 games like this, I will be a completely happy caster. Leyan, MilkyWay boxing each other's faces off in the early parts, and MilkyWay coming up clutch, coming up big at FPX with that 1-0 start. What a way to kick it off.
Yeah, it was great to see. I mean, even just coming out from draft, I'm serious, and I feel like when you have 3 pushing lanes in the LPL, it really feels like it just always wins. At least every time I see it, feels like it always takes the game, and FPX did that.
Results-based analysis, I can appreciate that. Anyways, game number 1 for this series is all done. Again, I need your guys' prayers to make sure we go all the way to 3. See if IG can bounce back. We'll be back after a break.